All right, please introduce yourself.
My name is Gursharan Singh. I basically belong to Jammu district. I have completed my schooling from Jammu district itself and have done my BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Punjabi University, Patiala. And at the same time, I was a national level fencing player and have represented my state in nationals. And at the same time, being an individual, I find interest in playing tabla and listening to Gurbani.
You spent almost 4 or 5 years in Punjab. Uh, Tell me, as we've seen that Punjab has witnessed drug menace, and right now there is close to we have 70,000 youth only in Kashmir Valley and that are involved in this drug menace. What do you think are the similarities in Punjab and Jammu Kashmir regarding this very sphere?
Sir, first thing is the drug which is coming. It because of its location, Punjab and Kashmir both are the bordering states with Pakistan, and Pakistan is under the Golden Crescent, which is a global term for the production of drug, and it involves Afghanistan, Iran, and Pakistan. And Afghanistan economy is running upon drugs, sir, and at opium. And at the same time, there is porous borders which is sending drugs to Indian side, and due to large number of unemployment and due to lack of education facilities, due to the breeding ground is underdevelopment for drug in Punjab and in Kashmir. In Punjab, they were rich farmers who just have to do farming and just have to and were getting money, good amount of money, and they were getting remittances from Canada and from abroad.
You mentioned that Afghanistan is part of the Golden Crescent, where the economy is merely supported by opium. But after the Taliban takeover has happened in Afghanistan, they have clamped down on the opium production, and it is as good as being eliminated from its entire production. So we have seen that they have brought down their opium production by 80%. This was according to recent BBC report. So what do you think about that?
Sir, sir, the official statements are that they have cut down. However, at the same time, whenever there is blanket ban on anything, there is an underground market which get established, and similar thing is happening when there is no legitimacy or there is no rules to regulate. There will be an underground, or there will be situations when the things will go illegally, but there is still the production of opium which is being done in a similar manner.
But that's all right if there is an illegal market or there's an underground market for the opium production there. But it is still better than having it legalized in a way that you base your entire economy on opium production without making it illegal. So it is always good that you have a law in place, and then there is if there are any lacunas, there are any loopholes that there is an illegal market, you can clamp down on that as well. But you need to have a law in place, for the first time, so that you clamp down on the majority of the production.
Sir, I think there are such reports which there are such committee recommendation which promote legalization so that we can regulate the drug in the country. However, if it is a total ban, there will be illegal market which is making vulnerable section more prone to it. If it would have been legalized, it would have been regulated in the sense. For example, sir, if we go that there is free trade agreement between two countries, then they give a positive list that in these sectors only there won't be any tariff reduction. However, if they will go for negative kind of list, then there might be chances कि there will be illegal trade of those things. So having regulations and laws at the same time will be better than having no laws and a blanket ban.
All right. You mentioned FTA between two countries. Can you tell me, was there any negative list that was given in an FTA between India and Australia recently?
Sorry, sir, I'm finding it difficult to recall at the moment.
Okay, tell me any FTA agreements that India has recently signed.
Sir, India is going for the talks with the UK for FTA, and as far as my knowledge goes, it is also going for FTA discussion with the European Union and bilateral investment trade treaty, sir, BTI.
Has it signed already any FTA with the country?
Sir, as per my knowledge, I think there are discussions, and I'm finding it difficult to recall, sir.
Okay, no problem. Can you tell me how an FTA can turn out to become a common market?
Sir, to be a common market, firstly, there needs to be a FTA with different countries. And if India is having FTA with more than 3, 4 countries, and it is ultimately they are also having bilateral ties with respect to FTA, then at the end they may come together and say, okay, we'll have a common market now. And post then they, if they want to have a certain same legislation also, they can also go for um, union also. For example, earlier European Union were also the common market, as I can recall, sir.
What is the difference between a common market and a customs union?
Sir, can I make a small guesses?
Yeah, please.
Sir, in common market, I think there is the movement of individuals are also accepted. However, with respect to custom markets, there is only transportation of goods, and I think sir, this is the
All right.
basic difference.
You mentioned that you've been a fencing player. Um, Tell me about it. How did generate interest in fencing, and how did you start it as a sports? And you've also represented your state at a national level. So tell me about it. How did you generate interest in fencing?
Sir, actually, since my childhood was mother was so much focused that I should not be and my sister should not be only stuck with studies. She wanted us to explore more things and do more co-curricular activities. Uh, in our initial childhood time only, she infused us to every sport. Firstly, I started with skating. I did it for 3, 4 years. However, due to my asthma, I could not continue it. So my sister was continuously doing skating. However, I shifted to fencing, which I thought will be less. My energy will be less required. However, the it was on the contrary. My energy was more required, and my stamina was more required in fencing because it is a sport of 3 minutes, and in those 3 minutes you have to be very agile. You will be very. You should be very quick in decision making. You should be very swift in your movements. You should be very flexible in your movements. You should be the best of you in those 3 minutes. You cannot be
Mm-hmm.
mentally or physically low at any second. If at any second you go low, the other opponent will going to take the advantage of that moment. And at the same time, we have to take the advantage of the other person. So all these small things which I came across during fencing fascinated me a lot. So I continued it in a professional manner.
Okay, are you aware of Bhavani Devi?
Yes, sir. Sir, we have
Okay.
played. She's also of my age. We have continuously played together. However, she went abroad for training, and I couldn't afford it. But
Mm-hmm.
we are the batchmate in fencing. She's also of '93. We have played cadet nationals together. We have played senior national, we have played all India inter university, we have played all tournaments together. However, post 2016 she continued, and I have to stop it.
Don't you think you should have also continued and made a career in fencing, or isn't there any big opportunity there?
Sir, actually, my fascination was more towards civil services uh, because of so many reasons. So I thought I gave myself a deadline that till this time I will be pursuing my sports career and my education career, and post then I will definitely switch, because if I would have been the best sports person, it would have been only me. If I would become a good civil servant, there will be n number of Gursharan Singh who will be representing India in Olympics and many other tournaments, sir.
Gursharan, let's assume that, God forbid, you did not qualify this year, and then you attempted again, and you again did not qualify, and you exhausted all your attempts. What would you do after that?
Sir, as of now, the learning which I have taken from this, I will be doing service only, but I have to see more prospects, which all things I can do, and through which means I can do it. There are n number of options to do it, but civil services for me is the most legitimate one through which I can deliver my services to the society. And however, if I will not, sir, I haven't given the thought that I will not, because I have made some strategic mistakes in my preparation. However, I have also corrected them, and I have cleared my prelims. I have cleared my UPSC prelims. I have cleared my state prelims. I have cleared this time. This was my third mains back to back, and I have cleared my third mains. So I think I have to be motivated till the time the last ball has to be.
What have you done differently in this attempt that you did not do in the previous attempt?
Sir, with respect to mains, sir, I think I worked upon my shortcomings. With respect to answer writing, I had knowledge in my previous attempts also. However, my presentation, I think, uh, mattered a lot. The flow of the answer, which point should come in first, then second, then third. I have synchronized my preparation in such a manner each day I was writing that I'm writing my mains. And I have worked upon my optional, and at the same time, I have worked upon my ethics also, which I think was a major setback in my previous attempts.
All right. You also like playing tabla.
Yes, sir.
So, how did you generate interest in tabla?
Sir, being a Sikh, we have to go to Gurdwara daily, and I used to get so much attracted, and I get so much energy when I see somebody playing tabla. So deliberately I came home. I didn't have tabla, but I had the table with me. So I used to do movements. Certainly, my mother saw me and she bought me a tabla, and I started playing tabla very in a fine manner. I haven't gone through any professional training. However, I know it is a God gifted, I think.
So, any other instrument that you played so far?
Yes, sir. In a similar manner, I play harmonium, and I have tried to learn guitar, but however, I was not good with it, so I
Okay.
dropped it long back only. But I am good with the harmonium, sir.
Harmonium. Harmonium was banned from All India Radio during 1940s. It was, I believe, it was banned for around 30 years. Do you know anything about that? Why was it banned?
Sorry, sir. I am getting this information from you, and thank you very much for that.
What was the opinion of Rabindranath Tagore on harmonium, or Jawaharlal Nehru? Both of them, they had some sort of a similar inclination towards harmonium.
If I have to make a guess, I think it is for 3 decades, so they might be against it. Or I think harmonium is such an instrument which gives one a sublime and very soothing effect. So I don't. Sorry, sir, I am not a person to comment
No,
on
no
it.
problem. Gursharan, you mentioned that since you're a Sikh and you have to follow your religion, you also have this very beautiful concept in Sikhism of the concept of langar. Why do we have langar in Sikhism?
Sir, there was a reason because at that time there was social differences which were very prominent in the society, and the lower caste people were not allowed to sit with higher caste people. So by then, the I don't remember the name of the guru who started langar, but the only reason why he started that he wanted ki everybody should sit in a line and have langar at a equal footing. Nobody is higher in guru's place, nobody is lower in guru's place. Everybody is equal and everybody has to spread.
So it was a symbol of equality, you say.
Yes, sir. Symbol of equality, at the same time fraternity, and even justice for those who cannot afford it.
Which article of the Constitution talks about equality?
Sir, Article 14 of Indian Constitution provides for equality, and
Okay, and which articles are part of the golden triangle of the Constitution?
golden triangle. I'm finding it difficult.
Okay, no problem. You know, Article 14 you mentioned talks about removing inequalities. It's been more than 70 years that we have mentioned that in our constitution. It's a fundamental right, but still there are persistent inequalities in India. There's increasing gap between the rich and the poor. Why haven't we been able to remove inequalities so far? And how much time would it take for India to remove inequalities?
Sir, if we go by the temporal comparison, then India has already moved a lot with respect to inequality. We have already catered so much of the indicators. However, there are still some things which have to be met. For example, still our education sector have to improve. Our health sector has to improve. Our political empowerment have to be more futuristic, and at the same time our economy is more leading to cause casualization, and there is very less economy which is working in organized sector. So there are some issues, however we have already catered to many of them, but still many have to be uh, tackled in time, sir.
So,
And
how much time do you think India? Yeah, yeah, please go ahead.
with respect to time, I think till the downtrodden and most vulnerable section gets out of the poverty level, I think, and for it, I probably can say, sir, there can't be a number. I think there can't be a number. There can be only progressive thoughts which we are building upon, and we are just working upon indicators to improve. For example, we have given timeline for 2030 for more for achieving SDG goals. So I think we have to be progressive in achieving every step. So by that, 2030 should be our target to remove as much as.
All right. You're a BTech in electronics and communication. So, are you in touch with the latest technologies in electronics?
Sir, yes, sir. Latest technology, some of them I'm having contact with it.
Okay, tell me about the three biggest, path-breaking technologies that we have in ANC right now.
The three biggest can be first is, sir, machine learning and AI, which was thought 10 years back that it will take another 30 years, 40 years to develop an holistic AI. However, it took 10 years time, and it was said that it will take, firstly, it will take the job of semi-skilled. then it will take the job of skilled. However, it has disrupted the whole industry and have taken a uh, front seat in the development. And the second can be, sir, the in the field of robotics, electronics and communication has uh, given it a disruption in the robotic sector. For example, last week or only I was going through one article where it was written that a boy was saved from the pothole. He jumped into a pothole, and with the help of robotics he was brought out of it, and NDRF was using that technology. And the third will be the development of communication systems, which has reduced the latency, which has increased the accessibility, and which have made us more connected with the world. For example, today we are just aware of a call from anybody, and we can see other person right in front of us. So communication system through 5G technology and the futuristic 6G technology is also going to be disruptive in this event.
You mentioned about, let's talk about them one by one. You mentioned artificial intelligence. Can you tell me, in the context of ChatGPT or Google's Bard, what is generative AI?
Sir, generative AI refers to when sir, basically there are three layers in generative AI. First layer is the learning layer, when it learns what all in the source. Second is the learning process, when it keeps on adding its own data set when it gets a new data set. For example, if I was given data of 10,000 people, that these out of these 10,000 people, those who are eating rice in the night, 6,000 people are getting 6,000 people, those who are eating rice are getting diabetes. So it will give a generative data that in the final layer it will give a generative data that those who are eating rice will get diabetes. So these kinds of generation and generalization it can make in the field of AI, sir.
You also talked about robotics. How can robotics help us in care economy?
Sir, I think robotics will be the game changer in care economy. For example, sir, in during COVID time, we have seen the medicines, the food was being delivered to patients in the hospital through robots only, and at the same time, we are having surgeries done through robotics uh, because the precision and the drug delivery component which it gives is far excellence than human. There can be a human error, but it is seen through trials that robotics are playing a very good role in doing surgeries, and majorly most of the doctors are also preferring to do surgeries through robotics. And And at the same time, sir, if we see UAVs being used as robotics, so we can also send medicines to people in the urgent basis. And at the same time, sir, if as we are a young generation, there is also our older generation which needs some kind of help at their home. So the robots can be programmed to help those aged people also, sir.
You mentioned UAVs and drones. Can you name some of the India's indigenous drones that we have developed?
Sir, I think Rustam and Hiron was there.
What are drone corridors?
So can I make a guess? Because I am not aware
Please.
of. Sir, it
Please.
should be if a drone has to be used, it has to be used in a certain path. Else, it can have a disruption upon other things also, because there can be it is not even allowed to fly a drone near airports or in the pathways of the airports. and near a strategic location or military locations. So I think it may be the pathway in which path where you can fly your drone.
We have divided the area of these places where we can fly these drones. So we have the red zone, we have the yellow zone, we have the green zone. Can you give me the difference between these zones?
Sir, I think the red zone is the zone where you cannot fly a drone, and it is near airport and near our military installations. Second is second, I think orange is with respect to certain height which we can fly, and at the same time in orange zone, I think there is a requirement of license also. However, with respect to yellow zone, there is no such requirement of license, as far as I can recall, sir.
So if I have a let's say a large drone and I want to fly the drone, do I have to register it at on any platform?
Yes, sir. There is one such platform, but sir, I think it is DGCA only where I have to register myself, Director General of Civil Affairs.
Okay. Third thing that you mentioned is communication with low latency, 5G and 6G. Have you heard about standalone 5G? Okay, what's that?
Sir, actually, in India, we were using 4G till now, and the world was using 5G long back. So in India, we also planned to roll out our 5G. However, we didn't plan to make the infrastructure with respect to 5G itself. So what we went for installing our 5G installation in 4G towers, and at the same time, we have the requirement to have that 5G installations standalone, which is a futuristic project. But however, we have some 5G standalone installation, but we are using more uh, with respect to our 4G installation. For example, sir, there is one very small example. We were using 3G phones. However, when 4G came, our 3G phones could not use 4G services. So we jumped into, we have to buy another 4G phone. The same thing happened with 4G and 5G. We are having our 4G phone, 4G enabled phones. However, but through these phones, we cannot use the 5G standalone. However, if it is 5G integrated, then we can use those 5G in that 4G phone also.
Okay. And we also have 5G spectrum, different types of spectrum during the auction that we saw recently. What are the three major types of 5G spectrum?
Sir, there are three spectrums. First is the low frequency, the second is high frequency, and the third one is the highest. In all the three, there is one minor differences in the in in one of the frequency there is high range and the lower speed, but in the highest frequency there is low range with respect to its coverage and highest speed.
There was a controversy recently wherein these broadband and Wi-Fi players were opposing, giving the E-band to telecom communication companies. Uh, have you heard about that?
Sorry, sir, I didn't get the opportunity.
What is 4D printing, Gursharan?
So till now we were using 3D printing. However, in 3D additive printing, we were able to make a uh, we were able to make a thing through a layering process, and we were not able to change it to any other form. However, with respect to 4G printing, we are just making a 3D model of it, and later it gets into, and later it changes its physical shape to another object. For example, if we there is if I have to go to picnic, I have to just take a 4D model of a chair, which can be as compact as it can be taken in bag. However, after some time in change in temperature and pressure, it will automatically take the shape of chair. It is sir 4D printing.
We also saw next generation of additive manufacturing, that is 5D printing. Have you heard about that?
Sir, if I have to make a guess, it may be the organic printing.
No, it's not about that. That is bioprinting.
Okay, sorry, sir, I'm not aware of it. I'll go through.
It is printing the object not layer by layer on just 3 dimensions, but it prints it from all the 5 directions. So you have a platform that changes its axes, and you can print these things and add layer by layer on all the axes, on all the directions. So that makes it 5D.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Your optional, what's your optional, Gursharan?
Sir, my optional is sociology.
Sociology. Can you tell me 3 of the most important social movements that have happened in India last year?
Sir, the first will be the farm bill issue. Sir, in last year only or in last 5 years?
Okay, tell me in the last 5 years. No problem.
Okay, I think I heard last 5 years. Sir, first is the farm bill issue. Second was Sabrimala issue. Third one was triple talaq issue, sir.
Regarding the farm bills, why were they taken back, and why were protests? Why were there protests against the farm bills? If government, as far as the Prime Minister said, that we could not make the people understand that it was for the benefit of the farmers. So if it was really for the benefit of the farmers, then why were the farmers all over the country against that?
Sir, because the farmers have already gone through the example of Bihar, where when APMC was abolished, there was large scale. There was no such development occurred with respect to farming. However, when it comes to Punjab, with the help of this APMC market, there was certain safety blanket, which we can say for the farmers, which would have been gone away by abolishing it. And at the same time, sir, the major challenge for implementing it was there was no draft policy in the public domain or the recommendation which could have been taken through the farmers leaders, so that if they might have already given their recommendation, so the bill would have been in a better position too.
So did the farm bill, had the was there any provision for the abolishing of the APMC mandis?
No, sir. As such, there was no abolition of the APMC Mondays. However, at the same time, there was promotion of gateway selling of the produce to private farmers, private members. So it was in the initial year, the farmers organization, what they said, in the initial year, it may help farmers. However, in the later stages, when the APMC Mondays will become defunct, at that time the private sector will take all the advantages and will dictate their terms and policies. So that
What
was
was
the
the
apprehension.
what was the rationale behind coming up with the farm laws? So if there was these genuine issues that were raised by the civil society and the farmers, but why was the government coming up with these farm laws? What was the rationale behind it?
Sir, however, farming is growing, but it is growing at 1 to 2% growth per year. However, when it comes to horticulture or any other sector, it is growing at 10% per year. So, government always wanted to increase the production, increase the growth rate in agriculture, because agriculture alone constitute 50% of the population. So government came up with a positive step. However, the way it was uh, declared, however, the way it was communicated to farmers, it was not in a right manner. That is why the apprehension came that government is going to or this private sector will dictate the farming sector now.
Okay, have you read about ENAM?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about it and whether or not it has been a successful initiative.
Sir, with respect to ENAM, it is uh, electronic trading of agriculture produce in a national market. In it, farmer from Punjab can sell his produce to anybody in Andhra Pradesh or anybody in Gujarat per se. However, its successfulness depends upon whether the farmers were able to sell that produce in a profitable manner or not. But it has been seen that farmers were forced to sell that produce in that amount only. However, the transportation cost was also included in it. At the same time, the farmers were there was issue at the farmer side that they are not being given their dues in time. And with respect to the other who were procuring it, they have claimed that the quality was not given which were mentioned, and the transportation time took so much that their produce was getting diseases, and at the same time it was not fit for human consumption.
Okay. Gursharan, are you a feminist?
Sir, when it comes to feminist or debate, I think I'm pro justice or pro equality. I'm into pro equality debate.
Now, how do you look at feminism as a movement?
Sir, feminism as a movement has its own positives, and I think small shortcomings too. But when it comes to feminist as a movement, it has given so much to the society. For example, feminist movements were when it came, they came for their equal rights. They came for adult suffrage. They came for even the Vishaka guidelines came just because of feminist movements. Nirbhaya rape case, post Nirbhaya rape case, there was a large scale feminist movement. Feminist is an ideology towards providing justice to women who were subjugated to home, who were oppressed, who were in domestic violence, who was not feeling safe at workplace. Even our government can be considered as feminist when they come with Sexual Harassment Act, when they come up with triple talaq ban, when they come up with many other such progressive ideas for the upliftment of the woman.
This phrase is almost used synonymously with feministic ideologies. That is the glass ceiling. What do you know about that?
Sir, we have recently witnessed it in the last US election when Hillary Clinton was the victim of glass ceiling, that a woman can reach up to a certain level. However, she's been shown that you can reach up to this level, but still she there is a ceiling which she cannot see and she cannot jump. And this was very evident in the presidential election of US, where still being a largest and the oldest democracy, that does not have one single president who is a woman.
Why do we call it glass ceiling?
Sir, because they cannot see there is glass, it is very transparent. They are being shown that they can reach up to any level. However, they
But
are being.
but we also have concepts like bamboo ceilings. Are you aware of that?
Sorry, sir, I'm coming across this from you.
Okay. All right. Why would you choose sociology as your optional?
Sir, sociology as an optional because firstly there was no electronics and communication engineering as an optional in civil services, and secondly, sir, I came across different optional. When it came to sociology, I read the syllabus. I thought I felt more connected with it. I would be able to understand what to whom I will be serving. I would be better able to comprehend what all problems the society has, and at the same time sociology has itself given me that intellect to understand the function dysfunctions, manifest functions, latent functions, all the institution, how these institution works. And at the same time I have also got the gist, if somebody is coming to me, what all problems that person will be having. I will be having an ideal type of that person so that I can judge the which all solution I can provide. So I think all these fascinations have helped me to go for sociology as an optional.
Gushan, tell me any interesting incident from your life that has happened to you recently.
Sir, yesterday only while I was going to market, I saw a very young person. He was very good in his build. He might not be having any kind of disease. However, he was selling balloons, and he was having her small child with him, and I really got disturbed that I can't provide him any help. There is no good employment for him. Even his life is okay, but when it's come to his child, she was just, I think, 2 or 3 years old. She was sitting in the road. Her future, I could see her future, that what her future will be if she will not be given education, health facility. She can be malnourished. So this was really disturbing for me, sir.
Now, can you give me the reasons for children begging in the streets, and what are the threats that they face?
Sir, with respect to begging, I have seen many news articles that they are being kidnapped from one place and being trafficked to other place, and they are being used as a bait to get money. There, we have seen in many movies also we have seen the similar kind of bait. Or with respect to their, sir, can you repeat the second part of the question?
What threats do they face?
Sir, there are n number of threats they are facing. First is their security, their physical security. They might get into the business of prostitution. They might get into the business of underground activities. They might be trafficked again. And second is, sir, they might face the issue of health, which of course due to malnourishment, due to improper health nutrients, there might be issue of hidden hunger. There will be definitely an issue of education, which in the later stage will lead to unemployment, and that vicious cycle will keep on working with them, sir.
What are the challenges that the government is facing in rehabilitating them?
The government, I have came across one scheme. I think it is pencil scheme. There was where there was rehabilitation of uh, this beggar, children beggar, and their proper reintegration with the society was also taken care of. However, the challenges are, it is a kind of very vast setup which is working in the streets, which needs a proper ground root level actions which needs to be taken. There cannot be a top down approach in it. There have to be microcosm approach for every state, and they have to take care of the situation at a grassroots level. For example, sir, if there is begging in Jammu, if we come across gold market, and if we come across other places, police is just sitting next in Gandhinagar only. However, the beggars are taking the children in front of them and asking for the begging. So I think there needs to be a very stringent implementation with respect to it. When the begging of children will be stopped, then only the exploitation of children will stop. However, till the time it is not being stopped, the exploitation will keep on going.
All right. Let's conclude the interview now. Before we end the session, do you want to share anything?
Sir, literally, I want to thank you because I can't even give my words of gratitude towards you, because last time also it was very fascinating session and very grilling session I had with you. However, because of my fault, it was again and again disrupted. And today again you have given me the opportunity. I'm very much thankful to you, and I can't even say in 26 alphabets of. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. All right, Gusharan, I have your feedback ready. हम शुरू से बात करते हैं. आपका लास्ट टाइम फीडबैक नहीं हो पाया था, तो देखिए, विल बिगिन विद द इंट्रोडक्शन. आपका इंट्रोडक्शन इज एप्ट, कोई उसमें प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. यू डोंट हैव टू ऐड एनीथिंग, यू डोंट हैव टू सब्ट्रैक्ट एनीथिंग. इट्स परफेक्टली कंसाइज. तो आपने अपना नाम बताया. You talked about your district Jammu, schooling, BTech, ENC पंजाब, फिर फेंसिंग, फिर तबला और फिर गुरबानी. पंजाब, क्योंकि यू मेंशन पंजाब, तो पंजाब से फिर डिस्कशन शुरू हो गया. सो यू हैव टू बी वेरी केयरफुल कि इंट्रोडक्शन में आप कौन सा वर्ड बोलने वाले हो, कौन सा नहीं बोलने वाले हो. बिकॉज यू नेवर नो कि वो स्कूल उठाएं, वो जम्मू उठाएंगे, वो पंजाब उठाएंगे, वो गुरबानी उठाएंगे, वो फेंसिंग, वो कुछ भी उठा लेंगे. तो बी वेरी cautious with what you use, the words you use in your introduction. फिर हमने पंजाब से शुरू किया. तो आपका अच्छा नॉलेज है. पहले तो नॉलेज में यू आर स्पॉट ऑन. आपने नॉलेज आपका कंक्रीट है हर चीज़ के बारे में, और यू लीड द इंटरव्यू इन अ वेरी सटल मैनर. आपको बहुत ही वो ऑर्गेनिक लगता है पूरा. जैसे कि आपने जो भी मेजॉरिटी मैंने क्वेश्चंस पूछे हैं वो आपने लीड किया है वहाँ की तरफ मुझे. तो वहाँ से मैंने आपको आगे आगे परस्यू किया, और आपकी अच्छी नॉलेज है. और वो लगता नहीं है कि आप लीड करना चाहते हो, वो बहुत ऑर्गेनिक लगता है. दैट इज़ अ स्ट्रेंथ दैट यू हैव. आमतौर पर, जैसे मैं कल एक बच्चे का इंटरव्यू कर रहा था, उसने बहुत ही डिज़ाइंड तरीके से अपना एक एक चीज़ डिज़ाइन करके उसमें लिंक सेंटेंसेस डाले थे कि मैं कैसे इसको लीड करूँगा आगे. बट वो लगता था कि ये लीड कर रहा है, और वो डेलिब्रेट लग रहा था. और आई डिड नॉट परस्यू दोज क्वेश्चंस. व्हाई? बिकॉज आई वाज ट्राइंग टू सी, आई वाज सीइंग दैट द गाय इज ट्राइंग टू लीड मी समवेयर, और वो कॉन्शियसली दिख रहा था. पर आपका लगता नहीं है. यू आर वेरी ऑर्गेनिक विद थिंग्स. तो दैट इज़ वेरी गुड. यू हैव अ वेरी गुड स्ट्रेंथ दैट यू हैव देयर. तो पंजाब, जम्मू कश्मीर में यू टॉक्ट अबाउट बॉर्डर है, लैक ऑफ एजुकेशन, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, अंडर डेवलपमेंट है. दीज आर द मेजर कॉजेज. तो वो फिर अफ़गानिस्तान पे बात चली गई. फिर अफ़गानिस्तान में बैन के ऊपर, टोटल बैन से क्या होगा, अंडरग्राउंड मार्केट आएगा, लीगलाइज करने से क्या होगा. तो वो भी आपका एक अच्छा जेन्युइन आंसर था, बैलेंस्ड आंसर था. वहीं से आपने एफ टी ए छेड़ दिया अपने आंसर में. एफ टी ए बताया आपने. तो बिकॉज यू यूज्ड एफ टी ए, तो यू नीड टू नो कि पार्सल स्कोप अग्रीमेंट क्या होता है, एफ टी ए क्या होता है, कस्टम यूनियन क्या होता है, कॉमन मार्केट क्या होता है, इकोनॉमिक यूनियन क्या होता है. कस्टम यूनियन पे आपने थोड़ा गलत जवाब दे दिया. कस्टम यूनियन होता है व्हेन यू हैव एन एफटीए बिटवीन द कंट्रीज एंड अ सिमिलर कस्टम ड्यूटी फॉर द नॉन मेंबर्स. तो every country who's part of the FTA will have a similar custom duty for the non-members. So that becomes a customs union. फिर कॉमन मार्केट में आपका, या बट अगेन यू लेट देयर, इट वाज गुड. पर वहाँ पर यू, व्हेन आई टोल्ड यू गिव मी द डिफरेंस बिटवीन कस्टम यूनियन एंड कॉमन मार्केट, यू सेड दैट कैन आई मेक अ स्मॉल गेस. either you're making a guess or you're not making a guess. There is nothing like small guess. ठीक है. तो you just simply can say that, sir, am I allowed to guess? Yeah, I would like to guess. तो बोलेंगे हाँ ठीक है. फिर अगर आप गलत भी बोलोगे, इट वुड बी फाइन, नो प्रॉब्लम. फेंसिंग, आपने बहुत अच्छी नॉलेज है. आई डोंट थिंक कि फेंसिंग पे कोई भी ऐसा चीज़ होगा जहाँ पर आप फंसोगे। कुछ गटका मैंने देखा था, फेंसिंग में कुछ गटका होता है, तो यू वुड नो दैट बेटर देन मी। व्हाट इज गटका?
Sir, Gatka is a Punjabi martial art sport. It
तो
is
उसका
although
फेंस
different from fencing.
that is what I'm asking कि do you know the difference between the two?
Yes, sir. Basically, Gatka is a Sikh martial art, and fencing is a very aesthetic and very and fencing is an Italian sport. So there is a very huge difference. And with respect to playing, also there is a proper pitch in fencing. And however, with respect to Gatka, it is played in circle. And when it's come
Hmm.
to fencing, there is only three swords. And when it comes to Gatka, there can be usage of sticks and there can be usage of talwar. However, in sport, it is only in sport Gatka, there is only usage of.
परफेक्ट परफेक्ट। तो बिकॉज यूर ए सिख एज वेल, तो गतका की तरफ जा सकती है चीज़ें, तो वो आपका एक
Thank
इंटरेस्टिंग
you for
कॉम्बिनेशन
highlighting
है।
it. Even
या
I have missed this dimension of how fencing and Gatka is related.
उसके बाद आई टोल्ड यू व्हाई डिड यू नॉट परस्यू फेंसिंग? योर एसोसिएट भवानी देवी has been, I guess, the first woman to win an Asian championship, I
Yes,
guess.
sir. Recently
So
she won bronze medal in Asian Championship at Wuxi, China. And she is the first woman from India and first Indian fencer to qualify Olympics too.
yeah, so you could have, why would you not pursue that fencing? तो उसमें आपने बहुत अच्छा जवाब दिया कि अगर आप फेंसिंग जाते तो एक गुरशरण होता, लेकिन आप एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में जाओगे तो बहुत सारे गुरशरण आएंगे। तो दैट वाज अ वेरी गुड आंसर, दैट वहाँ पर आपने लाइक दैट इज वेयर आपका इंटरव्यू एंड हो जाता उधर ही। इफ आई वाज पार्ट ऑफ द पैनल, तो उधर ही मैं आपका इंटरव्यू एंड कर लेता। तो दैट वाज अ ब्यूटीफुल थिंग दैट यू सेड। उसके बाद इफ़ यू डिडंट क्वालिफाई, यू हैड अ वेरी गुड आंसर फॉर दैट एज वेल। आपका सिचुएशनल बेसिस पर बहुत अच्छा आंसर होता है, सिचुएशनल क्वेश्चंस पर आपका फैक्चुअल बेस अच्छा है। तबला आपने बोला, क्योंकि आपने तबला खुद लिखा हुआ है तो तबला तो तैयार होगा आपका, हारमोनियम तैयार नहीं था आपका। तो जो भी आपका सेकंड बेस्ट ऑल्टरनेटिव होता है किसी चीज़ का, वो तैयार करना है। बिकॉज लिखी हुई चीज़ें सबकी तैयार होती है, लेकिन सेकंड बेस्ट ऑल्टरनेटिव तैयार नहीं होता। तो you see about harmonium, they actually were not quite inclined towards harmonium, because Jawaharlal Nehru was recorded to have been said that he said that it is un-Indian. So harmonium is un-Indian. So and Rabindranath Tagore was the person behind the ban of harmonium for 30 years. और आपने अच्छे से गेस भी किया था, बिकॉज यू फिगर्ड आउट द टाइम के 1940 से 70s के बीच में अगेंस्ट ही होते, बिकॉज दैट वाज द टाइम व्हेन JLN वाज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर एज वेल। तो ठीक है, वो तैयार कर लेना आप। इक्वालिटी पर बात आई, गोल्डन ट्राइंगल इज जस्ट आर्टिकल 14, 19 एंड 21, दैट इज द गोल्डन ट्राइंगल ऑफ
Even
कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन।
actually, it was there in my subconscious mind, but however I thought कि नहीं, गलत नहीं हो जाए, गलत नहीं हो जाए, वो ट्रिनिटी वही है, ट्रिनिटी वही है। So even I might have wrote this in my 3-4 exams, but it was there in my head. But however I restricted myself कि यार वो 14, 19, 21, 49, or is it something related to, because it was equality, so that was the reason why I kept.
ठीक है, वो दैट वाज नॉट एन इशू। उसके बाद वी टॉक्ड अबाउट इनइक्वालिटी। तो क्योंकि आपने सिंबल ऑफ इक्वालिटी बोला लंगर को, तो वहाँ से इनइक्वालिटी पे चले गए हम। तो आपने बोला इनइक्वालिटी, एजुकेशन, हेल्थ, पॉलिटिकल एम्पावरमेंट एंड इकोनॉमी। दिस इज़ वेरी गुड। इसमें मैं आपको एक ही चीज़ बोलूँगा कि जस्ट ऐड द नंबर्स। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आपको मैंने बताया कि वाई इज इन इंडिया एबल टू एलिमिनेट इनइक्वालिटी, तो यू शुड से सो देर आर प्राइमरली 4 फैक्टर्स फॉर दैट। ऐसे करके फर्स्ट फैक्टर वुड बी education, second would be health, third would be political empowerment, fourth would be economy. तो you add a number to it। जैसे आप नंबर ऐड कर लेते हो ना, so it feels like you know the stuff and आपके पास एक कंक्रीट आंसर है। तो you do that। जैसे ही आपको कोई भी चीज़ बोले ना, सर इसमें 3 अप्रोचेस है, इसमें 4 फैक्टर्स है, इसमें 5 रीजंस है, गिव अ नंबर टू इट एंड देन 1 2 3 4 5 करके उसका आंसर दे दो आप.
Actually, last time I gave the numbers. However, I thought ki was it right? Because I didn't get the feedbacks that day. So I thought number was not looking right. So today I thought
नो
of
नो
not to number.
नो यू शुड गिव नंबर्स. वो एक कंक्रीट आंसर दिखाता है कि आपके पास कंक्रीट है. उसके बाद I told you how much time would it take for India to eliminate inequality. That was a trap question because आप इसका कुछ भी आंसर दे देते आप उधर ही फंस जाते हैं. अगर आप 10 साल बोलते, 50 साल बोलते, 100 साल बोलते, यू वुड हैव टू जस्टिफाई दैट. अगर 200 साल भी बोलते तब भी फंस जाते आप. तो दैट इज अ वेरी थिंग कि जहाँ पर आपको बोला जाएगा बताओ कितने समय में होगा, आपको नहीं बोलना है. आपको बोलना है सर देर इज नो टाइम. जैसे कि आपने उसको अच्छे से हैंडल किया, सर कैन नॉट गिव अ नंबर, we have to focus on progressive thoughts and all that. So that was a trap question जो आपने अच्छे से हैंडल कर लिया. उसके बाद बीटेक पर आए हम. 3 बिगेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजीज पर आपने ही बात की, एआई, रोबोटिक्स एंड कम्युनिकेशन. तो एआई पे इट वाज फाइन, बट रिगार्डिंग रोबोटिक्स आई वाज स्पेसिफिकली क्वेश्चनिंग यू अबाउट रोबोटिक्स इन केयर इकोनॉमी एंड यू शुड हैव गॉन टू एल्डरली पॉपुलेशन बिकॉज उसके लिए वी हैव डोमेस्टिक बॉट्स, फ्रेंडली बॉट्स. तो वो सब क्या है? तो आप एल्डरली पॉपुलेशन, एल्डरली के लिए जो हम रोबोटिक्स में काम कर रहे हैं, वो पॉइंट आपने वहां पर मिस कर लिया बिकॉज आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग दैट आंसर.
I think I used it at the end. Aged. I used the word aged.
Aged, yeah. But you might have studied a lot of examples कि जहाँ पर हमने डोमो बॉट्स वो करके, हाउस बॉट्स करके हमने.
Should be the first.
Then you talked about drones, and drones में we don't have Director General of Civil Aviation. We have a digital sky platform जहाँ पर you have to go and you have to register for your about your drone. आपको नंबर दिया जाता है which is specifically for your drone. Then you can say वो किस डिपार्टमेंट के अंडर आता है, but the registration happens in digital sky platform.
Actually, long back I read this current affairs, so I was not able to recall all the three things.
No, you still had very good knowledge. Yeah, please.
Actually, with respect to drones and with respect to this communication also standalone, and I have read the complete article some 2-3 months back. However, I could not even able to recall what all other points were there. So that was the reason why I got restricted to few points only.
But still you had a good answer. फिर 4D printing पे very good answer. Social movements, farm bills, ट्रिपल तलाक बहुत अच्छा. APMC, feminist पे अच्छा आंसर था आपका. Bamboo ceiling, there are different ceilings. I would recommend you to look upon it. Glass ceiling के साथ we have bamboo ceilings, we have canvas ceilings. These are some ceilings and barriers for some different sections of the population like Chinese and like refugees and like Asian Americans. उनके लिए क्या क्या सीलिंग उनको फेस करना पड़ता है. For that we have these different kinds of ceilings. उसके बाद वाई सोशियोलॉजी, आपने उस पर भी अच्छा आंसर दिया. इंटरेस्टिंग एक्सपीरियंस भी आपने अच्छा बोला. आई चिल्ड्रन एंड बेगिंग पर भी अच्छा आंसर था. आई डिड नॉट फाइंड एनी प्रॉब्लम इन योर इंटरव्यू अपार्ट फ्रॉम द फ्लो एस्पेक्ट ऑफ इट. आपका आंसर जो है थोड़ा फ्लो कभी ब्रेक हो जाता है उसका, क्योंकि आप थोड़ा पॉज ले लेते हो बीच बीच में. बाकी मुझे कहीं पर प्रॉब्लम नहीं लगा. आपकी पर्सनालिटी बहुत पॉजिटिव है. आप ओकेजनली अच्छा स्माइल करते हो. आप ज़्यादा स्माइल नहीं करते, आप कम भी नहीं करते. आपकी एक पॉजिटिव वाइब है. आपकी नॉलेज अच्छी है. आपका एक्सपीरियंस काफ़ी वास्ट है. कमिंग फ्रॉम एन being a sports person and being an engineer and coming to sociology and now wanting to get into civil services, बहुत अच्छा वास्ट एक्सपीरियंस है आपका. तो और आपके साथ बात करने में वी फील लाइक चलो बात को थोड़ा और एक्सटेंड करें बिकॉज यू हैव वेरी गुड थिंग्स टू से. तो आई हैव नॉट फाउंड एनी प्रॉब्लम विद दैट. बस वो एक कंक्रिटाइजेशन करना है आंसर्स का 1 2 3 4 5 करके. और याद रहे जब भी आपको कोई ऐसा कंट्रोवर्शियल चीज़ पूछा जाए उसको अवॉइड करना है. और अगर आपको कोई ओपिनियन देना भी है, इट हैज़ टू हैव बैलेंस्ड. आपने 2-3 जगह पर पॉजिटिव्स बोले, जैसे फेमिनिस्टिक रेवोल्यूशन के अपने पॉजिटिव्स बोले मुझे कि इसमें क्या क्या फ़ायदे हुए, बट यू डिड नॉट से एनी शॉर्ट कमिंग्स. हाउएवर यू टोल्ड मी there are positives as well as shortcomings, but you only kept on enumerating positives. You did not give any shortcoming. तो उसका ख्याल रखना है, because mentioned in your syllabus you have to have a balance of judgment.
I forgot. Even now, also, it was in my head कि वो shortcomings रह गए, shortcomings रह गए. It was in my head कि shortcomings were there are frivolous reporting of many incidents have been seen. Domestic violence cases, despite not being there, have been reported. So there have been false claiming of incidents have been happening because they are thinking that they will be supported by feminist groups. So these were 2-3 shortcomings which I could have.
बस यू हैव टू बी कॉन्शियस अबाउट इट कि शॉर्टकमिंग्स बोलने हैं आप. अगर 2 पॉजिटिव्स बोल रहे हैं तो 2 शॉर्टकमिंग्स साथ में बता दीजिए. बाकी आई बिलीव कि दे विल नॉट हैव एनी चांस टू नॉट सेलेक्ट यू. यू आर अ वंडरफुल कैंडिडेट एंड अ वंडरफुल पर्सन. If they don't select you, it's going to be a loss to the administration and a loss to all of us.
Thank you very much, sir. But literally, sir, I'm really, really, really thankful. Sir, nobody, I haven't seen such a kind person like you, sir. Literally, I have no words to say. Yesterday night when I got the text, it was I was totally unprepared. Even I have to. It takes time me to wear pagdi also.
Yeah.
So, but then I went there. I was watching your shorts. It was so much motivated. Like yesterday only, I saw your short that 70,000 कश्मीर में बच्चे हैं. 500 का नोट रखो. It was very much. Then I went into search ki what is this. Then I searched all this. Literally, sir, very much grateful for your help, sir.
थैंक यू सो मच. आई वुड होप कि आपका इसी बार सेलेक्ट हो जाए. इनफैक्ट आई बिलीव कि आप इस बार हो जाएंगे सेलेक्ट. यू आर अ वेरी काइंड पर्सन एज वेल. तो इंशाल्लाह आप सेलेक्ट होइए, फिर और एक बात आपसे बात करेंगे.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट.
Thank you.